Hey guys, Don here with Driving Everest, ready to do the install for the MOLLE products that I received from Invictus Off-Road. We're going to start simple. We're going to go with the grab bar handles. Looking at the space here, of the two sets, the longer one is going to be the front. And one of the cool things about these is they do have these cutouts that you can see right here, and they're still going to allow you access to these holes up here in the roll cage. So let's take a look. Let's figure out how to get this first one put in, and we'll go from there. Now, I imagine it would be a little bit easier if I were to take the freedom panel off. I'd have a little bit room to work with, but I like to make things difficult. Wanted to try it this way first. It slides through pretty easy, and then all we've got to do, pull it tight, line this Velcro up, all right, it's nice and tight on there, and then I'm just going to try to roll it around so the handle's facing down. Now, I did want to have the Invictus patch right here on the inside. That leather patch is one of my favorite hints here on this, and I wanted that on display while I'm driving. So this is in there. It's great. It's sturdy. I like it. Then we've got all these slots right here for the pouches. Primarily up here, what I want to keep is my radio. So I've got a set of Midland radios that are underneath the rear seat, and I ordered some pouches. We're going to install them right here. Keep them easy reach for whenever we're parking the trailer, whenever we are out on the trail and there's no cell service and we need a spot. But this, oh, this looks great, and I'm so happy I went with a multicam. Let's go ahead, grab the other 3 roll bar handles and get those installed. Now, since we're already over here on the driver's side, I figured I would get started on the driver's rear passenger. As you can see with the sound bar, this is where that shorter panel is going to be a must. Now, one of the things that is in the way here, I've got this cargo net that I've been keeping ducks and other lightweight gear in. So we're going to have to take that down. Pretty simple. I just had a couple of bungees up here. I was trying to play around with some tension on there. And it should come right down, and we're going to have ducks probably raining down all over the back seat. There we go. All right, so for this one, as we can see, we've got the cutout here. That's for this spot. So it's actually going to come on like this. We'll pull that nice and tight. There we go. Spin that around. You can see we've got the gap in there. The patch right here is on the outside. You know what? I don't like it. Let's swap it. Let's grab the other one. I want the patch to be on the inside. So that one can go over there with the ducks. All right, so what we're going to do, since we want the patch to be on the inside, there is a difference between the two. This one, you'll actually have the patch on the inside here. If I use the other one, the patch would be on the outside facing here. But again, love these, want these patches facing in as an accent piece. We'll go ahead, slip these through, and actually this one's going to be a little bit easier if I climb in the Jeep, and I can fasten it on this side. So it is a little bit easier here to pull this tight from the inside. Velcro's nice and snug. We're just going to roll that around so the handle's facing down. You've got your cutout right here. This perfect spot for a small pouch or some sort of accessory up there. Most likely going to be snacks, because this is where Capri sits. Let's move over to the passenger side. All right, we're over here, passenger side rear. This is where the dogs hang out, so we're probably going to be storing treats, leashes, poop bags, anything along those lines for the dogs. patches on the inside just like I like it. Now we've got a nice easy grab bar handle. So we've got the one here, we've got the one here. This is going to be fantastic. All right guys, 3 down, 1 to go. Sitting here in the passenger seat. We're going to want it to go in just like that. Again, patch to the inside. Matter of personal preference. You set it up however you like best. Nice and easy. Let's take a look at what those radio pouches are like, and then we'll get started on the ceiling, roof, headliner, freedom panels, the thing above my head. All right, this is the Midland radio case. Well, the case isn't from Midland, but it holds my Midland radios. So I've got a pair of these Extra Talk. These are about 8 years old. They are amazing. Don't go anywhere without them. And I ordered from Amazon a couple just generic radio pouches. Looks good. This is great. It's not going to go anywhere when we're bouncing down the road. And now we're going to want to attach these to the Rollbar handles. So go ahead and climb in. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with how the MOLLE system works, these pouches here and other MOLLE accessories, they have these strips, and you actually run those through the slots right here, and that's going to secure it to there. Now what I need to figure out is, am I going to be able to do this while this is still up here, or is it just going to be easier for me to take it down, secure the pouch, and then mount it back up there? We'll try both ways and let you know what works best. Now, there's 2 ways that we could mount this. One with the radio coming out and going forward. I don't think I want to do it that way. It's going to bump in to this visor that already got in the way when I was installing these, or into the windshield. Nice and easy, up out of the way here. I think it's going to be the way to go. Whether we have it forward or up, not a big deal. We can have it a little bit farther back. We do have the handles for the freedom panels there, but not going to be taking those off very often, especially with putting a roof rack on Everest here in the future. So I'm not too worried about that. Let's see if we can't thread this through. It's going to be a little tight. I think the easiest thing to do is figure out where I want this, take it down, and then we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and spin it. It's going to be right under the pouch. You know what? When these go on, they stay on, guys. That's awesome. But now you know. Visor's getting in the way. All right. So, got the panel down. Got the radio here. We'll go ahead and take the radio out just to make it a little bit easier, a little bit lighter when we're putting it back up there. Radio's out. I've got the pouch. If you remember, we had this patch right here, and we were going to do the radio pouch right there. So what we'll do, we'll just go 1 down from it. Let's make sure we give ourselves plenty of room. I'm trying to hold this up so you can see it. And we'll thread it right through like there, right through like there, and we're good to go. Now all we're going to do is bring it through the back side. Bringing it right back through the back side here. And there's a couple of snaps on the back of the radio pouch. 1, and 2, and now that radio pouch is nice and secure on there. Let's get this put back up. All right, radio pouch is on. Let's feed this back through. You can see it on the back side there. I've got some other pouches. I'm not sure what configuration I want to go with yet, so I'm not too worried about them, but as you saw, this thing's fairly easy to take up and down, aside from getting around the headrest right there. So I'm taking it down for installing another pouch, which we'll have room for up here. It's not going to be a problem. Again, probably a lot easier if you took your freedom panels off, but this is expert mode here. Slide it down. Radio pouch is up here, it's out of your way. Got the radio. We'll go ahead and slide that back in the pouch. Tighten that up, maybe a little slack. Tuck the cord up out of the way. Perfect, this is not going anywhere. I'm feeling really confident that this is going to stay in place when we're off-roading, and it takes just a second. We pull in, it's night, we're spotting, grab it, slide the radio right out, and we're good to go. So this is awesome. It's everything I hoped for and some, and I'm beyond excited to get the rest of this set up and configured. So now that the grab bar handles are in, that's the easy part. As you've probably seen in other posts or reels or videos or anything like that, I have a ton of patches all over the inside of Everest from all the trips and adventures that we've been on and all the cool places that our Jeep has taken us. The downside is they've got to come down. Now the pouches I did order, they do have a place to put a couple of Velcro patches, so I will be picking our favorite patches and putting those on the pouches. I can already tell you that the Epic Family road trip ones are definitely going to go on. Those are a family favorite. Big fan. My daughter is too. She's a huge Lando fan, so that's probably going to go on hers, as well as the dog pouches in the back. But we're going to get this down. It's going to be important that we prep the sealing for the adhesive. So we're going to get some rubbing alcohol, especially once we pull the adhesive that's holding these on there. Let's get started. Hey guys, check this out. I just realized that these handles, they're adjustable. So if you want them this low, great. If you want to raise them up a little bit so they're maybe not in the way, or perhaps you're a bit taller and you don't need to, that's an option as well. I was just putting the radio pouch and another MOLLE pouch over here on the driver's side before I make a quick run to the store and get a heat gun to help with the install of the headliners. And that is such a cool touch. I mean, I can't say enough about this. As I've been installing it, I've had an opportunity to examine it even closer. The stitching, top notch. I mean, this is just something that's going to last and hold up through all types of conditions. These pouches aren't going anywhere. I cannot wait to get off-road and bounce this thing around and really put it to the test, especially when we get those headliners up there. That is going to be a game changer. So I'm going to take this down. I'm going to adjust the height of the handle, because as I'm sitting here, this is going to be, it's about right there. It's a little obtrusive. The pouches not so much. They don't block my field of view. If you're a little bit taller, I'm 5'11", 6 foot on a good day with hiking boots. You might find it in your way, but so far it's working great. Let's go ahead and take this down, make a minor correction to the handles, and we'll see what that gives us. Now, so as I'm adjusting this, one of the cool things that I just thought about is it's going to be up to you and what your needs are. So I'm taller than Vanessa. I don't exactly need the handles to be as low as she does. So on the driver's side, I can have my handle at a different height than she does. So the handles, they've just got a metal clasp here. It allows you to unhook there, and then just like the rest of this, you just hook and loop. One of the great advantages of this type of system here. So I'm going to try adjusting it all the way down here. And by the way, this is metal. This is not plastic. So when you put weight on this, it's not going to snap. It's not going to get brittle or anything along those lines. Now I've actually raised the handle quite a bit. Now you notice I did have to go over this gap here, so I jumped a few spaces. You can always take this side and bring it in a little bit and see if you like that height. With all this stuff, it's going to be trial and error. The configuration I have today may be different than the configuration I have tomorrow once I've actually started using it. But it's an extremely versatile system, and you can change it up in just a matter of minutes. So another advantage for a setup like this. No drill, no cumbersome install, and again, changing it up is just a matter of moving things around. Little Velcro here, spin it there, and now the handle is spread out a little bit more. Still nice and strong here. Oh, you know what? I did notice that I fed it through the wrong one. Huh. I was so excited to tell you guys about how cool it was that I wasn't paying enough attention to what I was doing. And I could edit this out, but instead, you know what? I'll leave it in here because this is reality. It's not always perfect. Now, the advantage of this is I realized I can do this without taking it down. It's a little tight, and if you got smaller fingers, it'll be helpful. There we go. I just slide this metal bracket up. Hook it through. And now the handle is, if you remember, it was a little bit lower actually, and now it's up out of the way. I'd have the chance if I wanted to go a little bit farther, but then it's not going to be able to be used as a handle. So I like this configuration. It feels good. It rides it up out of the way. We'll see how I like it over time. If I need to, I'll adjust it. All right, guys, we are in the rear of Everest. I'm sitting over on the driver's side in the back. I've got one of the rear headlighter panels. I'm just going to do a dry fitment real quick. So the panels, they go in like this, and they run up just behind the sound bar, and you're supposed to be able to install these with the hard top on. It's a straightforward, the instructions are pretty clear. Really the kicker now is going to be installing all the Velcro strips, and there's a lot of them. I've just got a ton of Velcro to hold those panels in place, so that's what I'm going to work on getting put in now. I'll see how it goes. So when you're installing Velcro, decals, really anything of substantial size, you never want to peel it all the way back. You want to give yourself just enough area to get it started like this, and then as you go and press it on, you'll work on peeling it back, but it helps you position it without it sticking. Now, I've got it all the way up in there. I've got the first part positioned, and now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to run my handle on, press it up against the hard top as I sit here and peel this strip. Remember, I've already prepped the surface. One down, 500 strips to go. Okay, it's not that many. I'm exaggerating slightly, but there's a lot of strips. Now, one thing you want to do that I did not do just yet is you really want to press this down. So when you put adhesive on, there's going to be air bubbles behind there, and you can use anything, scissors. I'm going to use a knife and just use the back side of my knife and run it along and really make sure that adhesive is sticking. Now, the reason you want to use something hard and heavy like a knife is because this is Velcro and it's not going to feel good on your hands, and you're not going to be able to press it well enough. So something small, pocket knife, Probably something a little bit more durable than if you were doing a decal where you would just use an ID card or a credit card. You're going to really want to get it in there, get those air bubbles out, make sure that it's sticking. Now, I did go purchase a heat gun for this install, but feeling the hardtop here, it is getting blasted by that sun in New Mexico. It's probably, I don't know, 50s or 60s today. It is supposed to be in the 60s. I don't think I'm gonna need the heat gun. But if you are in a colder climate and you reach up and you feel that this is cool at all, you're definitely gonna want a heat gun. Hair dryer works in a pinch too. Something just to warm it up, because that's really what's gonna help the adhesive stick to the panels. All right, so I have installed 8 total strips of Velcro, 4 on each side here, on the parts of the hardtop that actually protrude a little bit into the cab. Now, there are some recessed areas, and that is what the extra Velcro that's included is for. So I'm gonna go ahead and install those, and then we should be just about ready to put the panels in. All right, so the Velcro is installed. Now it's time to put a headliner in. I have a piece of cardboard. The instructions do recommend that you get a piece of cardboard about 21 by 10. And what that's gonna do is it's going to slowly allow you to adhere to the Velcro without it sticking too soon, and then you gotta wrestle with it. It becomes a giant pain in the butt. Probably gonna have that problem anyway. That's just my luck. But it's the same concept as the plastic backing to the Velcro, where we didn't remove all that. And the one time that it came off too soon and got stuck, cardboard's gonna do the same thing for us. So again, the panels are gonna go like this. And this is gonna be interesting. So we're gonna go ahead, have the cardboard here, slide it in, So far so good. Now just remember though that we do have a piece of cardboard in here that's blocking that, and we are going to have to get that cardboard out. It doesn't slide all the way through. It is being blocked slightly. So that is a challenge. Let's go ahead and now that we got that placed though, I bet we're gonna be able to do it without it, because we know exactly where it's gonna go. We know exactly the line it's gonna follow. Now the question is, can it bend, curl up inside there, and tuck smoothly? That's gonna be the kicker. All right, the one side is in, the other side is going. Just take your time work it in there, and it will go. That's all the way in there. Right now, I'm just running the heel of my hand over top of this, really just to make sure that it adheres nicely to the Velcro. Why this is not a factory option, I don't know. Quite happy with that. All right. One side down, and it looks fantastic. I mean, the color choice was perfect. The multicam looks amazing against the black of the sound bar and the roll bars and just the interior. Now it's time to do the other panel. And even though it was a little cumbersome last time, that approach worked really well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that piece of cardboard in there to prevent it from sticking to this. We'll start right here at the back and we'll work our way forward again. Now, the way that I have done this is, if you remember, I like the patches. So we're going to take this patch and it's going to be in the back corner on each of these. Otherwise, it would be tucked up underneath the sound bar. Nobody would get to see it and appreciate the craftsmanship that went into this. And now that we got it started, we can make sure that it's going to run where it needs to. Now, the advantage of the cardboard is it gives us a chance to kind of dry fit. And right here, I can tell that it's not going to lay as smooth as that panel. So before I've stuck it all on there and have to take it all the way down, I'll have a chance to reposition, kind of work out that middle section that was a little loose. And now I'm ready, it looks like, to pull the cardboard out, slide it the rest of the way forward. So, did not like the positioning. It wasn't running the clean line that I was hoping for. We're gonna put our cardboard back on, and we're going to start again. And there you have it, guys. The rear headliners are in. They look fantastic. Let's grab some pouches. All right, so another handful of the smaller pouches here. Again, gonna be playing with these, getting a feel for what works, what doesn't. Probably gonna need some bigger pouches, as well as some belts to help secure things up here. But this will be a good place to start. Now, I don't have the luxury of being able to just pop this down and work it through the back like I did with the grab bar handles. So, slightly different application here because there is that belt backing on these that wouldn't work anyway. But a little patience. They slide right through. And the best part about these being hard to get through is the fact that they're going to be hard to get down. And that's the most important thing. We want everything to stay secure, especially when it's riding above our heads. Now, one thing to bear in mind, just like the grab bar handles, you are going to want to think about the direction and manner in which you install these. Now I put the zippers facing this way because I know that you're going to be wanting to get in them from this angle. A little farther back, you're probably going to want to reverse that. But it looks good. This is great. This feels great. I have no concerns about this moving. Go ahead and install a few more. And we'll be good for now.